Alrighty, so the news literally just came out. It's 1 a.m. and we're getting exactly what we thought we would get. Anyway, looks like the maintenance is going to be at normal time. It is a short maintenance, it looks like, though, for only an hour and 30 minutes. So for East Coast, which is my time, it'll be done at 3:30. I really hate that they tacked on the extra 30 minutes there. I wish they would have just left it and did it at 3. Like, I don't know. Anyway, we're getting new heroes. We're getting the new green mono, and I think this is a brand new Eastin. I can't remember which color she is. I think she's blue. I don't know for sure. But yeah, these new characters are coming out. I honestly don't think that these characters are any good, if I'm being quite honest. I actually don't know exactly what they do, so we'll take a quick look at them just for reference sake. She's actually red. I did not know that. This mono actually seems like she could be a fun unit, but this is probably going to be the biggest skip I've done in a while. I think this is going to be the biggest, or the first skip that I've done since Blue Oslo and Hawk came out, which is saying something. But basically, both of these characters just don't really have much of a place in the meta at the moment. Like, I think you can pair them up with, like, Margaret and maybe get away with using them here and there for, like, a fun team. But you can really pair anybody with Margaret and make them into a fun team. So unless you just really like Mono or you really like Eastin, I don't really think that these characters are really all that great. If anything, they almost seem like the 7 Catastrophes characters. To me, they always come across as like, hey, these are sort of like background characters that you're gonna need for some really niche game modes, such as like really high scorings on like a final boss or something along those lines. And I don't know, unless you're just like really into that thing, or you're like a collector and want every single character, I don't really think that these characters are specifically going to be all that great. She does have Spike, which is pretty good. Her main skill has Spike, inflicts spike damage. It's a single target. The modifiers on them are pretty okay, nothing too crazy there. And then the other one is Sever, which is pretty good. It has 3 times crit chance increase, so you're pretty much going to be guaranteed to crit on that. Well, not guaranteed, but you have a very high chance of critting on that because her base crit chance is 80%. So with 3 times crit chance, you know, that's quite a lot. Anyway, she has the same ultimate as the old mono, so it puts on bleed, which honestly isn't anything super crazy. Her passive is, if allies in the battle are all 7 catastrophes, when allies receive damage from attack skills, increases all of the hero's stats by 3%. Limit of 10 applies when entering the battle. Resets when there are other heroes on the field. So this one is really hard to recommend because the fact that her passive makes it to where you're sort of bottlenecked into using 7 Catastrophes characters, which really aren't that great, to be honest. Like, a lot of the 7 Catastrophes characters are kind of old at this point, so their stats are pretty bad, and it's just hard to pull off a 7 Catastrophes team nowadays. So honestly, even though I like that mono and I like crit characters and stuff like that, I think that she's probably a big skip. Eastin seems to be the most popular out of all of the 7 Catastrophes, from what I have sort of gathered. But even then, this new named Eastin, so she's basically supposed to be like the awakened Eastin. She's like the goddess of the sea sort of thing. Like, she's the emperor, I guess, empress. And it's just really not that great. So her passive is reduces the damage taken for the 7 Catastrophes allies by 3% for every ultimate move gauge orb in battle. Okay, so maybe that's both teams. So I mean that's okay, but like I said, most 7 Catastrophes members really aren't that good, and it's hard to sort of use them on a team. And if you would basically want to use this Eastin paired with the mono, sort of ideally, so that way you can have, you know, 7 Catastrophes members and stuff, and you can actually use their passives effectively. But they just fall pretty short. She does deplete ultimate move gauges with one of her skills, which is okay. It looks to be a single target as well. And then they are adding a new type of damage, or a new type of modifier with this one called Oxidation, which ranks down enemy skills at the end of the enemy's turn. For every skill rank down, inflicts damage equal to 10% of max HP, which is okay. Like, it's not too bad. It's basically just like Dissolve, but it does damage at the end of it as well, which is honestly pretty cool. I could see, you know, more, you know, units in the future getting something like this instead of just a regular Dissolve skill, but I don't know, it just it's okay at best, kinda. And then the ultimate is a Flood ultimate, which is pretty good. It does attack one enemy, so it's a single target skill, and then the modifiers are pretty okay, nothing too like insane as far as like most ultimates go. I don't know. They just seem kind of lackluster to me, honestly. I'm honestly skipping these two. I just don't really think that they have any room on the roster. And I don't really think that, like, it would be, for me personally, as a content creator, it would be like, okay, I summoned for these two characters. Yeah, it's a 600 loyalty banner as well, which I just have zero interest in. Like, honestly, if you're going to do these 7 catastrophes banners and stuff like that, make them, you know, step up banners or something, because we have way too many banners going on with, like, festivals being 900, you know, half festivals, and these random banners being 600. Like, yeah, it's just too much. Like, bring back step up banners. Anyway, skipping these two, they just, for me as a content creator, like I was gonna say, it would just be like, hey, I summoned 600 gems, maybe I got both of them in one rotation. If it's any accordance to the last banner, maybe I didn't get them both in one rotation and had to spend more, and it would be like maybe one video for each of them, because honestly they're not really all that interesting. It would be hard for me to even, you know, get a decent set of games and stuff like that out of them, just like with their skills and stuff. I don't know. These characters are really uninteresting to me, so I'm just not feeling it. So gonna skip these. They are gonna be giving out, it looks like, because of the dev notes, they actually have it written here. As announced in the 9/16 dev notes, 10 free draw tickets will be sent to your inbox as a new character draw banner will be released. Basically, what happened was they're saying that through the entire month of October, starting with this banner right here, we are going to be getting back-to-back-to-back banners, basically. So they're going to be doing one banner for each week of October, so that way we can sort of cut the gap off of JP and Korea by 2 weeks. We were a month behind, now we're going to be 2 weeks behind, I guess, at the end of October, and so this is going to be the start of that. So even then, like with this one being, you know, we're basically going to be getting Festival Gother next week after this banner drops. So honestly, you're probably better off skipping this one in general anyway. So yeah, obviously we're going to have tons and tons of banners coming up, so you may want to be very careful with your diamonds spent, just because they're going to be kind of rushing banners a little bit this week. But they are supposed to give us a free multi for each of these banners, which I guess is okay, but one multi really doesn't go a long way in a lot of these banners, considering it's a 600 loyalty. Anyway, we got new events. It looks like there's going to be a growth event for Eastin. If I'm not mistaken, is this one of those growth events where Eastin gets like an extra copy or something like that? I can't remember. I want to say she does, but I could be wrong about that. Maybe I was just thinking wrong. But we're getting World Quest, which is basically just like a little small story event with the 7 catastrophes. There's normally some okay little decent rewards and stuff. We're going to be getting a bingo event, which I do like the bingo events. I think they're okay. They're not my favorite out of the stuff. Probably the spin events are my favorite, which we just had one, so that one should be going away. We'll be getting a bingo instead, and then they're going to be doing a cheering event. I think this is just like you gather small materials and stuff like that, and you spend them on each of these, and you get various rewards and stuff, which is fine. And then I think, do we get a 7 catastrophes tower, like a disaster tower on this one? I can't remember, but maybe not. It doesn't look like it. Special disaster exchange shop, bingo event, cheering event, special check-in. So it looks like we're gonna get some rewards for like login bonuses and stuff, maybe. Disaster tower returns. Okay, so we are getting a disaster tower, which is fine. Honestly, disaster towers are pretty good. They have almost like, they're not quite as good as the old Tower of Trials used to be, but they're pretty decent. they're not nearly as hard, so that's always a good thing as well for newer players and stuff like that, because you can get a lot of the rewards and stuff. So those are really good. I don't mind those when they come out. They're really easy, to be honest, as a day one player. So a lot of the like late game players, or if you already have just like some built up festival units or something, you'll most likely be able to blow through it super fast. New battle event, which is, you know, whatever. New costumes for the new Eastin is coming out, so that's fine. New bundles and everything like that, which is cool, I guess. System changes. New artifact set bonus will be added, so it looks like we're going to be getting a 7 catastrophes set, which increases all stats of 7 catastrophes allies by 5%. That's honestly not terrible. It looks like you get these 2 cards from the special missions, and then you get these 3 cards from the exchange shop. So you automatically, we're basically getting this whole card set for free as long as you're playing during the event, which is kind of cool, I guess. So if you're going to be using 7 catastrophes members, or maybe you do want to summon for these characters, you can use this card set and try to power it up or something like that. Wait, this is at set bonus level 5, and you only get 5%, so maybe not great, to be honest. Like, that's very minimal, but then again, the cards really aren't supposed to be like super powerful by any means. What's the tally? 7 catastrophes bingo event. It looks like you're going to get all of these cards from the bingo event. Recovers 2% of max HP at the start of the ally's turn when taking damage, excludes PvP and deathmatch. Recovers 2% of the max HP at the start of the ally's turn when taking damage. Okay, so that could be an interesting card set to use for the bird or something like that. Kind of interesting. New Holy Relics are coming out. If I'm not mistaken, this is kind of before they started to slow down on Holy Relics as far as JP and Korea goes, so I think we're still trying to catch up to them as far as what they've already released. But some of these are actually pretty interesting. The one Escanor is honestly pretty lackluster. His Holy Relic actually doesn't... I don't really think this one looks all that great. I honestly think it would have been cooler for him to get the regular Escanor one, to be honest. But the hero ignores 30% of the enemy's defense when using skills in PvP, which is fine, I guess. I mean, like, it's going to make him hit that much harder, but it's not... It could have been way better. I think it's I think it's good that it's not super great, because honestly, Escanor still hits insanely hard. So I think if they would have gave him anything more than that, it probably would have been too much, to be honest. So maybe I'm not hating on this one too bad. Maybe I actually like where this one is. If you want to go for it, like, it almost seems like it's a kind of a minimal exchange. Like, you either go for it and you get those, you know, little bit of return out of it, or you don't go for it and you just save up for somebody else. Regular Eastin is getting one. So basically just like a little glowy book, I guess. Increases the hero's attack by 10% of all enemies' attack in PvP. So that's okay. Mono's is actually pretty interesting. I think hers could be pretty cool. Inflicts corrosion damage on the target equal to 20% of the max HP for 1 turn if the hero's attack against the enemy results in a critical strike. So most of the, maybe not the red mono, but well, maybe not either of these monos. It's really great for the green one because she's more of a crit-based mono. But I guess, I mean, you can crit on any of the monos, I guess, depending on how you build her and everything like that. But the green one will be able to use this a lot better. But, you know, it's not crazy good, but I think it could be very, very interesting if you actually go for it. So if you're really into mono... I don't know, you could go for that and try it out. Regular Escanor increases attack by a value equal to 50% of the hero's defense at the start of the battle. So, honestly, pretty interesting. I think that one would be really, really cool to try out, because Green Escanor is not a bad unit at all. Like, he's actually super good. You could maybe even, if you went for the relic on him and used him in today's meta, you could even try to, like, upgrade on him with Gother and then use, like, a level 2 Cruel Sun to, like, remove buffs from Margaret. I don't know, like, I think that he has type advantage on Margaret as well. He could probably do pretty well in the meta, honestly. I almost kind of want to try that without the Holy Relic, just try to use him in PvP. I think that could be kind of fun. But Marmus is actually getting one, and his is actually super, super cool in my opinion, because his, basically, as soon as he enters the field, he just automatically has full ult gauge orbs. So if you have an empty slot, maybe he was in the back slot, as soon as he comes down, as long as you got a card slot open, he's basically going to draw his ultimate immediately. Or if you have him in the front line, as long as you're using a card during your first turn, the next turn he's gonna draw his ultimate, which is really crazy because his ultimate like lowers the enemy's defense by like 30%, maybe it's even 50%. I can't remember exactly how much it is, but it lowers their defense by a lot. And you can pair that with, I think, his other skills as well, because I think they're defense related stats, but I'm not positive on that. But yeah, honestly, I think they're giving these rare units some really great relics, which is really, really fun. They are also giving regular Arthur 1, applies an effect which decreases all enemies' defense related stats by 20% for 1 turn at the start of the ally's turn. So nothing too crazy there. I feel like they're really driving home the like, I feel like they're really playing on the whole defense stat game, I guess, with a lot of these Holy Relics, which is kind of interesting. Like, I don't know, they're just, a lot of these do stuff with defense for some reason, but it is what it is. It looks like Brunhild and the new Ragnarok Diane are going to be added to their respective race draw tickets, which is pretty cool, honestly. I like that they add these characters to these, so that way they're not super, super exclusive. So if you don't have Brunhild or didn't summon on the banner or anything like that, you can try to get, you know, test your luck and maybe pull a copy of her or something like that on these kind of tickets. So these are both, I think these are race draw 1 tickets. I can't remember exactly which one has what on it, but this is definitely the human draw tickets. And then it looks like the Ragnarok banner is going to be leaving, and then some of the Ragnarok events and stuff like that, and then the diamond shop bonus is going to be, I assume, replaced with the new banners, diamond shop, you know, bundles and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. Honestly, nothing too crazy. I'm kind of happy that we're getting a lot of these 7 catastrophes events. I do like the Tower of Disaster and stuff like that for good rewards. So some decent little content and stuff like that for the next week or so, which I'm kind of, you know, waiting to see how this whole month turns out with, you know, back-to-back banners and them sort of giving us hopefully a decent amount of content to go with it, because yeah, normally it kind of sucks when they cut down some of the time on our, you know, I guess, gap between the JP and global versions of the game, because we lose out on some rewards, and, you know, there's, you know, banner rush and stuff like that. Not everybody can summon on what banners they want to, so hopefully the banners this month aren't insanely crazy. I already know that, you know, Gother is getting a festival banner next week for us, and that might be kind of troublesome for some people, but I don't know. I think that the new Gother's kind of good, but at the same time, he's not very, like, free-to-play friendly, with his ult being super bad at low levels, so I think some people may end up just skipping him and going with working on maybe their Purgatory Bond teams, or even just sticking with Margaret at this point, because it seems like with all of the Holy Relics and stuff that they've been coming out with, the Bond team seems to be very, very good. So if you're able to do the bird stuff, it seems like doing like working on Bond's Holy Relic and some of his team's Holy Relics, that team can be very, very, very strong. So that is pretty much it from me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe for more content in the future, and I'm sure we'll go over some of the new events and stuff like that as they come out throughout the week. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys later.